Laura, there's so much anticipation. It feels like New Year's Eve, but we're all waiting for midnight here. Here's how this is going to work. 6 voters are going to come in here. 4 Republicans, 2 independents are going to walk down here. The election officials are already taking out the ballots. Sorry.
All right, thank you. We'll get started with the voting in just a few minutes. We will be essentially voting one at a time. The current regulations, we used to all vote before midnight, or we mark our ballots and then line up. Those of you who've been here for many years, you might remember my dad would stand here with his watch and drop it at exactly midnight. Can't do that anymore because of the way the regulations work. So we'll be opening the polls at midnight, and Les Otten over there will be the first voter that will come up, go through the process, and you can watch us each individually vote. We should, all 6, there'll be 6 people voting, and once we're all voted, we will close the polls and count the ballots and post them over there. And that's the process. There's one of the rituals is, this is our ballot box. It was crafted for us back in the 80s by the state penitentiary under Governor Sununu, and we used to have a very light one. I don't know when it's ever going to get filled, but it's big. You can see that it's empty. No beer, no things. So, anyway, that's the. I will put the locking in, but I'm not going to lock it. You guys can see. I'll lose the key. I lose the key. That's the worst thing that could happen. I lose the keys. So we're going to do that. And that's basically the process. Before we do that, we have a world-famous accordion player who's going to play the national anthem for us. And so we would ask everyone to stand and do that. Anna Reed, would you introduce?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, with us this evening to perform our national anthem, I am very honored to introduce 3-time world champion accordionist, Corey Pesatoro.
thing. You have to
Yeah.
Where are the dogs? Lucy, Max, come.
Oh, here they come.
We're gonna win the tie.
Max, Max, come here. Lucy,
the dog door over here.
come here. Hey.
Very dog friendly town.
Lucy, Lucy.
They've all made that.
Well, I guess we know where they are.
There was a time when my dad used to do this. He had a gold watch that he set. It was a mechanical watch. It wasn't. Today we're all timed by an atomic clock that's somewhere that various telephone companies use to set our watches. So, but it was often rumored that he would set it just a couple of minutes early to make sure that we beat Millsfield or the other towns to the punch. I don't know if that was really true or not, but again, that's not an option these days. We're too heavily, we're regulated enough by our electronic stuff that I'm sure we probably all have exactly the same time on our, whatever we keep time on. So we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Can you repeat who the box is from?
The box, as I understand, the box was made by the New Hampshire prison, and it was commissioned by Governor Sonoma, John Sonoma, the father of the current governor.
Thank you.
Forget which year that was, but it was in the
Okay, Sean, you're wearing
As we start the process, you'll see us changing chairs a lot because there's five of us covering 7 positions. And so Les and I will swap. He'll vote, and you'll take my chair. So if you see us moving around a lot, it's because we're changing official hats.
Can you tell us who's seated at the table?
Oh, sure. On the far right is Valerie Maxwell. She's the supervisor of the checklist. Next to her is Scott Maxwell, her husband, and the assistant supervisor of the checklist. My right is my wife, Deborah Shirley.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Right
She's town clerk and
explaining the process to the members of the press and also
Les
explaining the
Otter, developer of the hotel here, and then our newest member and one of the co-owners of the Boston and the Reef.
Now the rules and regulations have changed, so they can't talk about those until 12 o'clock. So that will be happening then, and let's the gentleman that you see standing there.
That's all of us.
He will be casting the first ballot here. There is
Hard to imagine that I did this with 37 people.
two unclear voters who will be casting the ballot. About 20 people moving forward, so you can persist. However, the 6 voters went down to see so we'll see if that was the past years. So it has been
local law, and don't blink because you might miss it. It's all going to be over within just a few minutes here. So much anticipation for midnight. So 6 residents in this community, 4 Republicans, 2 independents, they're going to make their way down here. And some of the town officials sitting, they also get up and vote, and then they sit back down. That's how small this community is. They're going to vote behind these American flags here. Then they're going to come out, and then they're going to cast their ballots in that box here. And then when it's all said and done, the votes will be written up on that whiteboard. And we are going to know how the first community in New Hampshire is feeling about these candidates here in the first in the nation primary. So it's all getting started right now, Laura, the first voter here about to cast his ballot. This is really an exciting process. This all started because the former owner of the Balsams Resort here, he wanted a way for the people in this community to be able to participate in this process without having to drive over an hour away in the snow, in the winter. And so that is why we made this possible and push for Dixville Notch to be incorporated so that people in this community can vote.
And now we're just about a little away from that first matter, unless I'm coming out for sure. And moderator first so that's the situation. Here,
only 6 people voting this evening, 4 Republicans, and then the results.
So 4 Republicans, 2 independents. One of the voters that I spoke with earlier this evening, he told me that he's a lifelong Republican, but he did vote for President Biden in 2020. And that is reflective of some of what you hear from these New Hampshire voters. Many of them moderate, independents, especially the ones that have been turning out to Nikki Haley rallies. I don't know how instructive he is of the rest of the 5, but at least one person sort of leaning in the moderate end.
How many voters have gone so far? And the voting is right now.
well, part of it was easy. Millfield and Heights location were the other conditions that conditionally held voting first started it back in 1948 as a result of the railroad workers there so that they could get their voting in before going on their ship. But talking to a town official earlier this month regarding Millfield, it just simply put the word out and they didn't want them to get out around midnight. And in Hartsville, we just decided that, well, it wasn't as convenient for everybody. So they're going to hold more traditional hours from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Wake up Tuesday morning, Trace, things are looking better than they were. Trace.
Who'd you vote for?
They're not going to send you more help out for all of us. You know that they're going to put on. We're going to get those talents here, but information private for some of the folks that were here, though they may.
Yeah, that is it, Monica, and Adam Sexton just talked a little bit about that as well. The fact that this can set a tone, and so the morning newspaper around the world, around as we do have journalists from around the world here, and around the country, and around New Hampshire will be saying somebody that's now leading the New Hampshire primary, and whether that can have some effect, spillover effect down further south in the state, we'll see. As far as the results go from Dixville Notch, they don't always give an indication of what's going to happen later on. Just look back to the last election cycle. Michael Bloomberg won Dixville Notch with 3 write-in votes. He didn't even campaign here, but he did call us out in the first ballot. It wasn't true. It was actually Michael Bloomberg calling it, but it turned out it was, and he ended up writing in Michael Bloomberg 2 other followed as well, and there were only 5 votes
Oh,
cast
wow.
this time around. The other 2 votes went to Bernie Sanders, who ended up winning the primary, and Pete Buttigieg, who ended up voting second. Yeah, there's something I take very seriously. And you can see something of the tradition just on the walls behind the voters there. You can see some of the photographs and obviously the big sign there, Dixville Notch, New Hampshire, first in the nation. This is something that used to be held at the hotel there, but the hotel closed to the public back in 2011. There are plans to resurrect it, and the hope is that maybe the next time this comes around, they'll be casting those ballots once again in the hotel. Hoping we'll see. But it's definitely something that they feel a sense of pride and honor, and something that they take very seriously, studying the candidates. As do most Granite State voters. You know, there's that old saying that you know, the reporter asks the voter what they think of the candidate, and they say, I don't know, I've only met him 3 times. So, you know, there's that sense. But once again, nobody came up here to Dixville Notch, but 5 to 6 did go down to see Nikki Haley, and we'll see if that portends anything when the votes are tabulated. And it should be in just a little while. And we have another one of those non-voting dogs entering the seat.
The supervisor of the checklist would advise me if everyone has voted.
Yes,
100% of Dixville voters have voted.
They voted.
I will entertain a motion from the Dixville residents to close the poll.
Move to close the poll.
Moved and seconded to close the poll. All in favor? Unanimous, and the polls are closed.
Monica, the polls, if I can just interrupt just for a second, the polls are just closed. So now we're going to open in the box here, and I need to correct myself, this is a box not from 1960, but actually it was a box commissioned by the current governor's father when he was governor.
Yeah, so everyone was done voting, and we're now
So
starting the
they're
tally.
getting the $6 out, and they will begin the tally.
We're now starting the tally here, and we're a matter of minutes, you know, from 1968 to 2012, primary winners. And so everyone sort of looks to see what gets the
Start the counting process.
But earlier tonight, that one of the residents told me is, don't spend so much time focusing on the fact that they pick primary winners, and more the fact that there's a truck through the wilderness to be able to vote, and they want to send a message to other New Hampshire residents to get out and vote too, and send that message to voters across the country as well.
I didn't know what correlation was.
So we're going to be quiet so I can hear the tally.
Yep. Go ahead, Steve. Right.
Vote for Nikki Haley?
Another vote for Nikki Haley, so that's 2 votes for Nikki Haley.
2 votes for Nikki Haley.
Another Republican ballot. Yes, 5 to 6.
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley, yes, so far, 3 votes for Nikki Haley.
So that's 3 votes. 3 votes for Nikki Haley.
Make that 4.
4, another vote for Nikki Haley.
And a vote for Nikki Haley.
Another vote for Nikki Haley. 5 of 6 for Nikki Haley.
And a Vote for Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley. So Nikki Haley has captured all 6 votes here in Dixville Notch. I know from the residents here that she did reach out to the residents in the city and invited them to them privately and sent it out. As every resident in this community has supported Nikki Haley. So those are the results from the first meeting.
We had no Democratic.
CNN, how much time?